Yes, yes, it is. Yes, please. Yeah, same thing I had last week. I apologize. I wasn't here last episode, so we're all feeling a little ups and downs lately. So I hope, yeah, Carly, get some rest, enjoy yourself, and hopefully we'll see you back next episode. But so how you been doing? How are you doing, Finn? How is the Fenimus Gaming doing? Good. Oh man. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, there you go. That's nice. Yeah. Well, hey, heck, Hecate, right? Right? Hecate, right? I'm always shy about pronouncing names wrong. But hey, welcome to the podcast. Yeah. Yes, a ton of stuff since last. Right. What if is? Oh yes, please don't confuse me because I stream once every month basically. So yes, they will confuse the two of us. um. Oh.
To
Oh.
kind of go
Oh.
back and
Oh.
review the first two episodes uh with Rex, since Rex wasn't here. Uh we've
Apparently,
also got
I had you muted on my side as well. So
oh, did you?
yeah, I just fixed it. Sorry. So sorry for that, everyone. We're here, Polar Nerds, number
It's
17.
because it's
Here we
because
go.
Carly's not here. It's
Right?
because Carly's not
We
here.
just can't get right. We can't get right. There we
But
go.
we got a lot of stuff to go over. First, I mean, we've got the what if episodes to go over, and I kind of want to go back and review the first two episodes with Rex. Me and Carly kind of did that a little bit, but Rex wasn't here, and I love Rex opinions on these Marvel series.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over that. We've got the Suicide Squad
Ooh.
that me and
Yes.
Carly reviewed last week, but
Nice.
since again Rex wasn't here, I want to do again review those real quick. That with Rex here. Uh, Another thing which was really big that happened this week, we didn't think that we were going to get this because Kevin Feige came out and said we're not doing this. Is we've got the Spider-Man No Way Home
But they
trailer.
had to because of the
They
photo.
had to.
They
They
had
had
to because of
to.
that photo, right? Do you know
We,
what photo I'm talking about?
the ones with Toby Maguire and Andrew
Yes,
Garfield
they
on set
had to
in
come out and do
suits,
something.
in
Yes,
in costume, in
yes,
costume.
right. That which has never been seen. Okay, so if someone's like, "Oh, it's never been," okay, so they would never be in a movie together. This isn't some BS. They are like in this movie. This is why they're together in costume. Like,
So I gotta send you something. I just saw
oh,
your text, but I'm
oh,
gonna send you a meme.
oh no.
And the other day I was saying we're just one away from having a Sinister Six.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I just sent you a
yeah,
meme
yeah,
that I
yeah. I saw
found.
it. Yeah, bring. Yeah, I
Look
mean
at the
we.
last one. Look at the last
Yeah,
one.
Bonesaw.
We got saved 3 minutes of playtime with me.
My husband got me this. That's awesome. That was
Did your
awesome.
husband make that for you?
All right.
Of course, we can't have that because Macho Man Randy Savage is no longer with us. But I
But
saw that. I saw that right before the podcast, and I was like, "God, great! You got three
so
minutes of
there's a
playtime
lot in that
in
and
that
I actually
trailer."
have that trailer pulled up right now.
I do too. I do
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So you know what? Let's go ahead and watch this trailer, and then
Yeah,
I mean, you, me, it doesn't matter.
I
Um,
got, I got it.
but yeah, let's go ahead and watch the trailer and pull that up, and then we'll discuss that because that's the big news of the week.
Yeah, because I wanted to start this
Yeah.
first this week.
Yeah, it's
Um,
amazing, awesome news that we thought we'd never. I mean, they
we
had
never
to
thought
though.
we would get.
Like
We
they
didn't
were
think we were
pushed
going to
into
get
a
this.
corner.
We didn't think that we were going to get this. Kevin Feige had come out officially and said, we're not doing a trailer, which is the first time that's ever happened.
But Marvel didn't. It's Sony that released the trailer. So Kevin Feige wasn't wrong. Like, he's like, we were not going to do it. But
did you see the meme that says, who really leaked the No Way Home trailer? And it's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. Nice. I like that Zendaya has Converse on. Let's all take a look at that. My favorite shoes.
Yeah, look at them. Look at those Chucks.
Yeah. Classic too. The high top classic, bro.
We got some new Chucks here. Me and my wife got some new Chucks here about a month ago. I got some dark navy blue ones.
Me and my wife, we got married in Chucks. Like, I wore
my wife did too. My wife did too. She got because of course we had a Batman themed wedding, but I couldn't wear Chucks in mine because I was wearing the whole tuxedo thing. But she wore what was it, Cat Babe? Yours was Catwoman Chucks.
Nice.
Under her wedding dress.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't notice that till just now that Zendaya, Mary Jane is wearing Chucks in the trailer.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm adjusting my camera and.
All right.
But yes,
so guys,
those are some Chucks right there. Let's yay for Converse. Also, all Captain America, if you guys didn't notice, was wearing Chucks when damn it. Nick Fury came to visit him. You'll notice that he's wearing Chucks too. So because Converse was a big thing, and they've been making Anyways, it's a bit long story. We'll get into that. Let's watch this trailer though.
Yeah, let's do this trailer, guys.
Yep. Nice. Doctor Strange. Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
And he's a major part of this.
Yes.
This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider lord.
Yes.
And there's something in this I noticed about the third time around that I watched this that we're getting that I didn't think we would get.
Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
Oh.
The drones that are yours.
Daredevil,
yeah.
Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock. Yeah, they've been. We'll talk about it. I don't want to overshadow that.
Everybody knows you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people.
Oh no.
I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
We're using real
When
names?
Mysterio revealed my identity.
Did you see that right
I
there,
got
real quick? I
screwed
want to
up.
pause
Yeah,
that
that's
real
a-
quick.
I was wondering.
Yeah, go back
We
and
are
pause it.
getting. Let me scroll back just a little bit.
Yeah, because if you didn't notice what was going on there. Yeah.
Look what he's wearing.
That's a black
Like suit.
Spider-Man
We are
suit.
getting the black Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
Now it's not the symbiote, as far as we know, because it's some of the pictures that they've shown that they've kind of enhanced is black and gold.
Yeah.
But we are getting the black suit Spider-Man.
So
in this.
yeah, I mean, and that just makes sense with everything else that's going to. So this movie right here, so they teased it with, and this is okay. Let's continue to watch,
Yes,
and I
yes,
have a lot to
I
say.
just-
So yeah,
I wanted
yeah,
to point that
yeah,
out. and
yeah,
show it.
no, that was a good point out because I don't know if a lot of people noticed that. Yeah, that's the black Spider-Man suit. So
When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Strange.
Don't cast that spell.
yes, Wong.
It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't. The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my god, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really stop talking. What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
Oh, Happy.
The Lizard,
That's, of course, a pumpkin bomb.
a Willem Dafoe.
What you wish for, Parker.
Ooh, this is...
Yes.
Alfred Molina is such a badass dude.
Hello, Peter.
Yes!
Peter. December 17th,
No.
we have
A
a
date.
release date.
Yes.
We have a release date for Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. I am so excited about this movie.
Yes.
Like
Spider-Man's
And
always been great. I mean, it's Marvel's number one. Like, beyond X-Men, beyond anything, Spider-Man is Marvel's number one seller.
yeah,
and-
I mean, that was Stan's crowning achievement with Spider-Man.
I mean, yes, okay. As far as like sales, I still think Captain America was, but that's my own bias. But sales and popularity, Spider-Man's number
their
one.
flagship.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
their
yeah.
flagship character.
Which is why, and I kind of want to go over this too. So before we get into breaking down the trailer and stuff, Sony couldn't do anything with Spider-Man. They couldn't. They released Tobey Maguire movies, which I personally don't like. I don't like Tobey
And
Maguire.
no, I've never liked Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
They had shining moments like Alfred Molina.
It was the villains that made those movies.
Green Goblin, the guy Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. Yeah,
James Franco as Harry Osborn.
I think they made a major downfall with Topher
Toby.
Grace.
Topher
as
Grace. Okay,
Venom.
so I was showing my kids the other night. We were talking about this the other night, and because like we talked about this in chat the other day, and I mentioned so they've shown in this trailer we've seen Willem Dafoe's Pumpkin Bomb,
Yep.
which that people are saying, well, it could be either Willem Dafoe or it could be James Franco as Harry as the Green Goblin. But
Or it could be, or it could be the Andrew Garfield.
no, because the pumpkin bombs in that one were different.
But that doesn't. It's a Spider-Verse. I mean, it's
think-
the
I think
multiverse.
it'll be
No. I know what you're saying, and I really want it to be Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Yes, God, please let it be Willem Dafoe because
and-
he's one of the greatest actors of our time, and
and
I love it. But
And it might not even be Willem Dafoe. They just may show it may be somebody in the suit.
yeah, so so it's either going to be Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, which is Green Goblin's son. I mean, that's the way the comics work. So it's either Norman Osborn or his son,
As or Harry as
or
we've
Harry.
But we've got
Right.
Green Goblin, we've got Doc Ock, we've
Yes,
got
Alfred
in this-
Molina
in
coming
one-
back.
In one little scene in the trailer, we see two different villains. We get Electro
Yes,
and Sandman,
yeah.
and
Which
really
I believe
quickly, you've got-
Electro
and
is Jamie Foxx,
Jamie
right?
Foxx,
Yes,
Jamie
yeah,
Foxx,
coming back.
the guy-
Excellent.
the-
And that's
the-
Andrew. See, and that's what I'm saying about the multiverse. So Jamie Foxx was Andrew Garfield, Electro. And so they're mixed, and then Doc Ock,
And-
of course, is Tobey Maguire's.
Wires.
Yeah, right. Dr. Octopus. But so that's what I'm saying, like about the pumpkin bomb. Like we're not sure. God, I hope it's Willem Dafoe.
Oh God, I hope it is. I hope it is because I don't.
I don't
The
think.
guy that they got for the Andrew Garfield movies that played Harry,
Yeah.
I didn't like him.
Yeah, and
I didn't like it.
I don't
but-
see Willem Dafoe turning that down
But
because
we're also getting another Tobey Maguire and Sandman. So
Mm.
Lowell from Wings or whatever, who played Sandman in Spider-Man 3, is coming
excellent
back.
character and an excellent actor too. So
We're also getting the Lizard from the Andrew Garfield.
Garfield. That's what I'm saying. So it's like a mix of realms and stuff. So like
and
it's
something I
full on
pointed out-
multiverse. So
Well, my son was pointing out. He goes, "Well, Dad, it can't be Willem Dafoe because he died, and then in Spider-Man 1, and then in Spider-Man 2 is when we get Doc Ock, which is Alfred Molina." I said, "Well, son, this is also you got to think this is multiverse."
right. So he died in one universe doesn't mean he died in the
He died in
any
another.
other. Right. And there's so So if you guys don't understand what the multiverse is, try to think about it as you times 100. There's 100 different versions.
Millions,
of you.
millions of you.
Millions, but let's keep it small. So there's 100 different versions of you. So there's one version of like me and Finn with blonde hair. There's one version of me and Finn where we're super buff. There's one version of me and Finn
We're females.
where we're female. Yeah, exactly. So there's you, and there's like the 100 different versions of you. And of course, the multiverse is millions upon millions of different. So yes, your
What's up,
son's
Super
right.
Saiyan?
He did die, but that doesn't cover
Carly!
all the multiverses. Oh,
Carly,
Carly!
feel better. Feel better.
Hey, yes, Carly.
We got this. We've
yeah.
got this.
Thanks.
We got this.
I mean,
and when you come back, trust me,
Right.
we'll go over your sentiments on this trailer.
right?
as
Absolutely.
But
Carly.
so
I'm doing the Carly Hart. I can't do it very well, but Carly Hart, yeah.
yeah,
We love you,
So,
Carly. Get well.
I can't
Thanks for
hear
covering
you
for me
much
last
louder. So is
last
my mic
podcast.
turned down? Is my mic turned down, Princess? Wait, hold on. Hold on a second here. What?
Yeah. Take care of
What
yourself,
is-
Carly. We miss you. But we will definitely go over all this stuff. So,
I'm
and I
trying to
didn't
see.
change my comic till you came back. So it's the same comic that was when.
You have the right mic on?
Oh, I've got it now. Now you should be able to hear me better because now it's going through my actual mic, which is my snowball, my Yeti snowball. So, a couple things I did want to point out about this trailer. I saw a video, and I've got to see if I can find it, which is it shows it basically times all three of, I think this is it right here. No, this isn't it. Anyways, it times the events in Loki where they kill He Who Remains, and it times it together, links it
Ah,
together
nice.
with WandaVision,
It's very
where
nice.
she
place
hears
to
her
be.
children,
Yeah.
and links the scene in the trailer where Strange, when he's casting the spell and it goes all nuts.
Well, I
It
mean,
links all those three that happen at the exact same time.
exactly, and right, because that's what happened. I mean, so it's not just Loki and Sylvie that created the multiverse, because the multiverse was going to happen. Because the TVA is trying to hold on to chaos, and you can only hold on to chaos so long before it becomes chaos. You know, that's the whole idea of chaos. You can't hold it back, and you can't control it. I believe you're. I mean, that video is awesome because I do believe
man.
all of these things do happen all at the same time, and that's what breaks the multiverse. And that's
Yeah.
where Doctor Strange has to go in and fix what he can't or what he messed up. Loki is going to have to go back and fix what he messed up.
And Wanda's gonna have to go and she messed up.
Exactly. And there's no telling, and I really think this is going to happen. They're all going to be in the multiverse of madness. Doctor Strange. I think they're
Well,
all going to work together.
They are listing Tom Holland, and if you go to Google and you Google Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness and you look at the cast, they are listing Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man
Nice.
in that. So he is going to
Yeah.
be in Spider-Man.
That's good.
Now,
Well, I mean,
he's going. Of course, he's going to be in Spider-Man. I mean,
Right.
he's going to be in Doctor Strange. But the thing is this movie here ends Tom Holland's contract with Marvel.
yes. Okay. But this
and
is
Disney
okay.
as
This,
Spider-Man.
this is one thing I wanted to talk about. Okay. After the trailer, and so Sony has done nothing with Spider-Man for years and years and years and years. And then Marvel came along, and they were Iron Man and this and that, and you know, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sony did the smartest thing I've ever seen a movie studio do, is partner with Marvel, because Sony has
They
done nothing.
basically rented Spider-Man to Marvel.
Well, right. So this is what Sony's doing, and it's brilliant because, like, if you think about it, if I own Spider-Man and you own Marvel, God forbid that ever happened. So if I just own Spider-Man and you own Marvel,
I'm
and
going
you're
to do what's his name did with not the Force Awakens, but the last Jedi, the last Jedi. I'm gonna
let's,
you know the
let's
whole
not talk
the
about
whole
that.
the whole
Let's
the whole
we'll have a whole
uh,
episode where we talk
the
about
big
Star
middle
Wars.
finger to J.J. Abrams. You know?
Yeah, the next Star Wars Day, we'll have a whole episode on Star Wars, and we'll do the same thing on Star Trek Day. We'll have a whole episode on Star. But let's talk about this right now. So Sony brilliantly was like, please help us. We will let you use Spider-Man in your movies to build Spider-Man's fame and all the things that go with Spider-Man that they have. The Kraven the Hunter, the Morpheus, Venom. Right. Let's build together, because Sony's banking money right now. Because Marvel is taking these storylines and making them fantastic, and Sony has sat behind and said, you know what, they're onto something. Let's build on it, right? We own Spider-Man, but let's not cut them off with Spider-Man. Let's use their fame to help build our franchise. So that's what Sony's doing. And yes, they are basically renting out Spider-Man, but without Marvel's help, where would they be with Spider-Man? The same place they've been for the last 10 years. Basically nothing. They did Andrew Garfield, and I thought Andrew Garfield was pretty great as Spider-Man, but it didn't go anywhere, you know? Of course, Tobey Maguire hasn't done it forever. So where were they going with Spider-Man? Nowhere. But latched on to Kevin Feige and Marvel, Spider-Man's a household name again, you know?
Yeah.
Tom Holland, especially, great Spider-Man, fantastic. And I think all the Spider-Mans in their own right have a piece of the character. But I think Tom Holland,
I really kind of have to disagree with you on that, because Tobey Maguire. Okay, so
yeah,
for me,
I'm not a fan of Tobey Maguire.
For me, Spider-Man, I grew up reading Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my first comic book I ever bought. In fact, we talked about that on my family night chat with my kids the other night. I even showed which one it was,
Nice.
and everything else. So for me, reading Spider-Man growing up, Spider-Man was always cocky when he was not when he was Peter, but when he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then when he was Peter, he was always kind of like not want to say tormented, but he was like, he's always stressed out because he's having to deal with being a teenager and being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But when he was Spider-Man,
Yeah.
there was no Peter. He was Spider-Man. He was cocky. He had a bunch of one-liners that were cheesy and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And Toby had none of that. None of it. He was more if Bruce Wayne became Spider-Man
Yeah.
and was dark and brooding.
Yeah, well,
Rest
I
in
mean,
peace.
but Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, who's a great director, obviously, and I've got to say this. I agree. I don't think out of if we're gonna rate Spider-Man's like we did Batman's the other day, or the last time, Toby's on the bottom. Toby's
Toby,
on the
yeah,
bottom.
definitely.
Yeah,
It goes Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield,
but Sam
and then Tom
Raimi,
Holland.
like.
or Tobey
Even
Maguire.
with Tobey Maguire, I don't know if it was whatever casting. He got Willem Dafoe. He got Andrew Molina. Like, he pulled characters or great actors to make other characters for the lackluster Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are still good movies. I don't think they're terrible movies, because Sam Raimi's a good director, and I think he did everything in his power. But yeah, there as a Spider-Man, I think Toby's my least favorite. I mean,
Yeah,
I know he's my least favorite.
definitely. Even the Japanese Spider-Man from back in the 80s
Yeah.
that had the mech spider thing. and
Yeah.
he shot the spider suit out of a wrist thing, and even he was better than Toby.
Well, great
There's
acting.
actually a documentary. There's actually a documentary
You know what? And
about that Spider-Man.
and they were talking, if Sony decides to do a live action Into the Spider-Verse movie, which
Yeah.
I think eventually they will, because the animated Into the Spider, if you guys haven't seen that, it's fantastic.
Oh, yes.
It's one of my
yes.
My
And they're
fam.
coming out with the sequel soon.
Yes, yeah. So if they're gonna do a live action kind of version of that, I I hope they bring that Spider-Man. That is a valid Spider-Man. You know? So
Even do you remember the 80s? No. It was late 80s, I think maybe mid to late 80s. They had a Spider-Man TV show
Yeah.
here in the States.
oh yeah.
And it was funny because when his spider sense would tingle, the screen would flash like
Yeah.
from negative to normal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you remember that?
Yes. Oh yeah. I watched oh man, I'm telling you, thanks to my grandma who watched all the whatever it was TV. I think it ended up turning into TV Land, but that channel.
Nick at Night.
yeah.
Yeah.
The old Hulk. Oh man, that was such a good show.
We talked
And then
about that last Saturday with my kids. We
Thor
were showing
Thor
Bill
was on
Bixby.
that one. Yeah.
And I even showed the Thor and the Iron Man that looked.
Captain America too. Remember he
Yeah,
had the
with
bike?
he had the motorcycle helmet that was
Yes.
in top.
Yes.
But do you remember the Iron
Hello.
Man? Do you remember the
Hello
Iron Man?
Mooney. Go ahead.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
remember the Iron Man who looked like a he looked like an electric razor.
Yes.
With the
Yes.
he had the rubber, but he looked like, I can't even say it because I'm at least trying to keep this a little bit family friendly. But
Yeah.
he looked like
Yeah.
he looked like a pair of clippers without the blade on them.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
But we were talking with Bill Bixby and the whole, all that. We were, in fact, we were talking about this
So,
last week.
I just want to point
during
this
my
out.
family
We
hour.
have a viewer from Brazil on my channel. Thank you for showing up and checking us out all the way from Brazil, guys. That's
All right.
amazing. We love that. Thank you.
We're international now.
Yes, right? How can we not be international now? Let's
Right.
claim that.
The Polar Nerds. We've got Hecate and Chainsaw. They're
Yes,
out
from
of Australia.
Australia. Yeah, and we
Hey, LP,
man,
thank
we
you for that 8-month subscription.
we appreciate all of our guests, whatever country. Yeah, thanks you guys. We love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. But yeah, the old like 70 Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, love that show. Do you remember?
Yes.
The other one I loved to watch was Great American Hero. Do you remember that show?
Oh, the greatest American hero.
Yes.
Yes,
Well-
where he finds it's a Russian suit, and he doesn't come with instructions. Well, he comes with instructions, but he can't read Russian, and so he's working out the kinks of the suit that gives him superpowers.
Yes, it's great. It's great. I mean, those are good shows.
They talked about rebooting that show.
Man, I would kind of
couple
like to
years
see
ago,
that.
and
I
they were
would
gonna do
kind
a
of.
female. They were going to do a female.
That's okay. It's always fun to see like a bumbling superhero. Like
Oh,
you have
yeah.
all these superpowers and you're just like like figuring it out. That's always amazing. So
Oh yeah. But me and my kids. So the Saturdays that we don't do the podcast, I do like a family
Right.
family chat, where I have my kids and everything. We talk about stuff, and we did that last week. We were talking about your favorite superheroes, and then we really got into like there for a little while. We got into like the Bill Bixby Hulk series and showing all that, and then
oh, it's such a great series.
the Linda Carter Wonder Woman series, and the $1 billion man, the $6 billion man, and Steve Austin, stuff like that. It was more me explaining to my kids who these characters were,
Right.
and then hearing my daughter laugh every time. Like when we got into the Hulk series, I'd bring up a picture of Thor or Cap or Iron Man, and when we brought up Iron Man, my kids were just dying.
Yeah.
Just they couldn't stop laughing. And my son's like, that's Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we had to grow up with, which is why we're like so amazed by the movies we've got now. Like, oh, nice.
But so getting back to the Spider-Man No Way Home, there's a lot of other questions now. Like again, we pointed this out. I stopped the trailer. We're getting the black suit Spider-Man.
Nice.
It is not the symbiote Spider-Man, though.
Right. Because
It's
right.
which in the comics that's what the black suit was. It was symbiote.
Yeah, but this
was
is
Venom.
remember, this is a multiverse, so our Spider-Man that we're seeing on screen is a little different from the comic book. So this is a way of pushing without the Venom
The
symbiote.
lore,
Right.
the pushing the lore of the costumes without pushing Venom. Now,
Right.
I have an idea. I have a theory.
Mm.
All right. Now, I don't know how true this is going to be because around the same time here, within a couple months, we're getting Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, I know.
And I'm going to show that trailer because you weren't here last week to review it with me, so I'm going to show that trailer here too. The Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but-
I've seen it, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
But I have a theory because this is Sony.
Right.
So one or two characters are going to show up because I'm dead set that we're going to get a Sinister Six in this. We are getting the Sinister Six.
Yes.
We've got 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, Sony is working with Marvel right now, and Marvel is teaching them how to build that universe, right? That's what I'm saying. So, Sony very brilliantly was like, okay, please help us. Here's Spider-Man. Use him. Help us build this. And then I don't believe that there won't be more collaboration between Sony and Marvel because Spider-Man's it's the number one character for Marvel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So my theory is,
but Marvel, Kevin Feige and them are helping them build their own universe. So Sony will have its own universe. Marvel has its, you know what I'm saying? And so they're Craven the Hunter's coming. We know that Morpheus is coming. Morbius. Sorry, Mobius is coming.
Or Morbius. Morbius is Loki.
Yeah. So Morbius is coming. Right. Blah, blah, blah.
But we also see in the Mobius trailer that Adrian Toomes is not dead. He's there because at the very end he says, "Hey, Doc," and you see see Michael Keaton. So my theory is, okay. So here's my theory because Morbius is coming out soon too.
Yes.
Next year. So we know Adrian Toomes, the Vulture is still alive. So one of two things is going to happen. Either A, we're going to get the Vulture to round out the Sinister Six, or we're going to have Tom Hardy show up as Venom as the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
So my theory is one of those two characters is going to show up to round out the Sinister Six.
Yeah, I think they're going to because Michael Keaton is at an age where I think
And
it's
he's
going.
He's been busy on the Flash set.
Yeah. I think it will be Eddie Brock. I think it will be the Venom. I think that's what they're gonna do to round out because I know he's still under contract. And plus it's Venom. How do you not have Venom? Right.
Venom.
Right.
I mean, how do you have a Spider-Man movie with no Venom? That's not Topher Grace. Right.
But not that they won't eventually, maybe sometime in the future, bring Michael Keaton back as the Vulture. That's awesome. But yeah, I think as of right now, if I had to guess, it's going to be Eddie Brock Venom. You know.
Yeah. Unless they're going to surprise us with another character, which we have so many. Another thing that they could do is because this is multiverse, and I mean, in the Tobey Maguire movies, you know, Green Goblin did die before Ock showed up, and Ock died before Sandman showed up.
Yeah, but it's a multiverse.
We could get Mysterio back.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
And Mysterio was one of the founding members of the Sinister Six.
Right.
And
Rhino. They could always bring
time. They're messing with time and space and going back and erasing Mysterio, telling everybody that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah, so Mysterio could come right back. Right.
Could rewrite the history of
Rhino too. We're forgetting Rhino. Rhino could always come
from the Andrew Garfield movie.
Paul Giamatti could always come back and do that. So yeah, there's
so
plenty of
Sinister
Sixes that we can make. Okay. All right. Well, ask your question. My wife has a question. So she said that they said there's going to be 6 villains, but they won't reveal it. Of course, it's the Sinister Six. It's just who's in that lineup.
Fans have been calling for the Sinister Six since Tobey Maguire came on the screen. The fans have been calling
And
for
they
the Sinister Six
yeah.
to appear, and they always tease it. They always
Yes.
tease
Right.
at because like at the end of the first Andrew Garfield film with
Yeah,
the
with
lizard,
was Rhino.
they
Was
showed
Rhino.
they showed Rhino, they showed the
Yes.
lizard, they showed, and then there's a part where they go into Oscorp and you see the Vulture's wings, you see a black liquid that's moving around as Venom, you see I think you see all like the stuff there being developed in Oscorp. The Scorpion suit, you see part of the Scorpion suit.
Ooh, right.
That's
Yeah.
another Scorpion we could
Yeah.
get. There's all these things that they show in the very end of Amazing Spider-Man with
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield that and they've been teasing us
Yeah.
for more than 10 years.
So
With
so we have a question, and it's about this very subject. So the most popular theory is that Doctor Strange will be the sixth villain. What do we think? And then they cite that it appears as though he and Spider-Man are fighting during the train
on the
scene,
trade set.
which does look like they're fighting. Doesn't mean that they necessarily are.
But there also is a scene so I want to know in the trailer there is a scene where it shows where Strange
Mephisto. I don't think they're gonna bring Mephisto in yet.
that's somebody else I seen online they were saying that
I
there's the
don't
Mephisto they
think.
were showing the Tom Holland picture with the horns and but of course they've been teasing Mephisto all through WandaVision.
Yeah, but
And
okay,
kinda in Loki.
I think so with the teases like Mephisto like that. I think that's going to be a future villain, and they're just pre-teasing them. You know what I mean? Kind of like they did with the Iron Mans. They kind of pre-teased a lot of villains that came along, but I don't think they're ready for Mephisto. But they're not.
Yeah.
They're saying like, "Oh, coming soon." Coming soon. Like,
And the thing is they could not be. They may not be teasing Mephisto per se, but what they may be setting us up for is a new Ghost Rider.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
You can't have Ghost
Yeah.
Rider without Mephisto.
that's what I was about to say. So they're probably teasing that because I would love to see Ghost Rider back. I'm so glad. Another thing we brought up in the trailer that you can see Charlie Cox coming back, Daredevil, Matt Murdock.
Daredevil.
Well, he won't be Daredevil in the movie. He will be Matt Murdock, but Matt
Murdock.
Murdock is Daredevil. That's going to be amazing, which means it's pulling the Netflix series into the Marvel.
to the MCU,
Yes.
which they've also stated that in what was it in She-Hulk
Mhm.
that
That Charlie Cox will make an appearance as well. Yeah.
he'll make an appearance, but the big bad in that is going to be Kingpin.
Yeah. Well, yes, which Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent
Yeah, Vincent
D'Onofrio
D'Onofrio
is
will
going
be
to
like-
come back and play Kingpin, and even from his own like Twitter, and he is super excited about coming back. That's to him, it's one of his favorite characters he's played in a long time. So that's
But now
super
everything
awesome.
is coming together. Now
Yeah.
everything is coming in and folding into each other. Where they were once kind of separated, they really didn't have anything to do with each other. Now everything is kind of interlocking into each other.
Well, and that's
what I was
kinda-
going to talk about was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
point out Steph's question. Another scene in the trailer is a scene where Strange is doing to Parker what the Ancient One did to him and did to Banner as the
Yeah.
Hulk by knocking himself out of himself.
Yeah.
But Parker in this scene he's got a hold of a box. There's a cube,
No. I
a
didn't.
green cube.
Okay. All right.
And
all
let me
right.
see if I can. Well, I ain't got the trailer put up.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
it's fine.
it's seen several times when you see Strange in full costume, not in the Doctor Strange sweatpants in the snow-filled
the
Sanctum
the
Sanctorum.
chilling Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange just woke up, ain't had his coffee yet. Doctor Strange, it's seen several times on him.
Yeah.
So, what is the box? What is this box? What is this? It's obviously a magic relic, just like his cape and
Right.
everything else. But what is it?
Yeah.
And why is Peter? It looks in the scene as if Peter is trying to take it from him. In the scene where he's knocking him out.
See, and
So-
that's another thing. So dealing with this question too. So we're dealing with a multiverse. There's a multiverse where Doctor Strange is evil. So who's to say Doctor Strange in this trailer or this scene where you see that he appears maybe to be fighting Spider-Man? Maybe that's an alternate version. So there's no multiverse brings in any
So much.
any possibility.
There's no telling, because before with the MCU we could kind of tell where things were going because
Kind
we
of,
hadn't got
yeah.
into the multiverse yet. We hadn't even tapped into it. Now that we've got the multiverse linked or opened up, thanks to Loki and Sylvie, there's no telling what they can. I mean, there's no limit to what they can do. They can take every story arc that we know and go, okay, well, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to change this because, as we say here on the Polar Nerds podcast, multiverse.
Right? Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean, this is a perfect time for let's segue into the What If series because that is all a part of the multiverse.
Well, before we get into the What
Right.
If, I
But
really wanna
I'm just
go
saying
over
that
this-
ties
yeah.
in, and that the multi.
And that-
so
and
the
that
What
was-
If is kind of a glimpse into the multiverse of a this could happen, this could happen, this is how this happens in this multiverse or this universe. So that's the multiverse right there. So
Yeah.
infinite
And-
amount of
And then
things can happen.
planting the What If series right after Loki
Yeah,
was genius.
yeah,
Was
brilliant. Yeah,
But okay, so that's the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. We are here at the podcast. We are excited about this movie. I
Yes,
cannot wait for
super.
this movie to come out. I'm pins. Let's just go ahead and just put the movie out. Just put the movie out.
yeah, yeah, and
Quit
it's
teasing
gonna
us.
it's gonna
And
tie the room together, bro.
I like it.
it's
There's a meme. There's a meme out now too that I absolutely love, and it shows Alfred Molina as Doc Ock from the Tobey Maguire movie,
yeah.
and it says Doc Ock realizing he's gonna have to kidnap Aunt May, and it shows the Aunt May from those movies, and he's all because, and then the next one says 2022 or 2021, Doc Ock realizing he's gonna have to kidnap Aunt May, and it shows Marissa Tomei, and he's got this smile. on his
Yeah.
face.
right. Like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Dude, good. But anyways, guys, that's the No Way Home
Yeah.
trailer. We have been on pins and needles waiting
Yeah.
for this episode, for us to do this episode so we can show you guys this trailer. We are so excited for this
Yeah.
because we didn't think we were going to get it, but here we are. We've got it.
But Kevin
It's-
Feige was right. He's like, we're not releasing, and Marvel didn't. Sony released the trailer. So
Sony, yeah,
and that's the kind of tricks they're gonna play throughout. That's what they've done with the Marvel Cinematic. Kevin Feige will come out and say, "We're not gonna do this," and then something else. You know, it's yeah. So they're always playing tricks with you. So
yeah. So the next thing again, me and a lot of the stuff that we're going over tonight, me and Carly went over last episode, but Rex wasn't here, and
Yeah.
I love getting Rex's opinion because again, we're polar nerds. We
Right.
we nerd out about everything, but the things that we nerd out are totally opposite of each other. So I always like bouncing off my brother here
yeah,
to as a soundboard on certain things and stuff like that. So the next thing I want to show you, I did show this last week or last episode, and this is the Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer. Now I'm really excited for this
Ooh.
movie. I've been waiting for Carnage to be a live action presence in cinematic movies. So we're just going to jump into it, you guys. So let me get this loaded up. Let me get my screen shared.
and they got a good actor to play Carnage too. I just want to say that.
And
Yeah.
I will say
What-
that I was a little bit disappointed when they first showed him at the end of the first Venom movie because the big fro,
Yeah.
the big redheaded looked like Kyle off of South Park fro.
Hey. Hey.
because- But hey, you guys.
God damn it,
The
Kyle.
way he looks in this, looks more like Cletus to me.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go ahead and show this guys real quick. Again, like I said, we did show this last week when Carly and I kind of went over this. But I want to show it again because I do want to get Rex thoughts and stuff like this off of this trailer.
All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
Lady, we should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator. I need to be free.
You have got to get control of your aggression, or you will get hauled off into Area 51.
Okay. Live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. Don't
All right.
game over me, please. Let me fix it. So I can break it again.
Right.
Let me fix it so I can break it
are a
again.
loser.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers. Please, why me? What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I have tasted blood before, and that is not it. All I ever wanted in this world is carnage. I'm a crazy man. I am a vengeful one.
That's pretty good. That's an awesome.
Move.
Where you going?
That is a red one.
You need to come out right now.
He said,
Let you eat everybody!
Promise.
I promise!
Oh, yeah.
Betty, you feel like home to me. Like family.
Oh, wow.
You could just say, I'm happy for you.
That was going to be us.
I am happy for you.
No.
God, I'm so sorry.
Not sorry.
These two need some serious couples counseling.
that's such a good trailer. That's
It
an
is.
amazing trailer.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this one to come out, and that one comes out this fall, so you know this one's coming out before No Way Home. So that's another reason why I think that that's going to be Venom. That's going to be rounding out the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
That the reason they
Yeah.
haven't showed it because it might be a spoiler for Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
I mean, yeah. I think I really think because Venom has star power and it has the momentum going, so I think Venom will be a part of the Sinister Six. So
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the way they're gonna go. Plus, Tom Hardy is fantastic.
And
Like-
that's what I like about Tom Hardy too, as Venom. And somebody pointed out one time I saw a deal where they talked about how in Venom, throughout the entire movie, he doesn't just all of a sudden become this big buff guy. You know, when he fuses, he looks like he's going through drug withdrawals.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie, he
And-
looks like he's sick and that there's something wrong with him. He doesn't just become like this awesome. I've got pecs now and all this other stuff. You know,
Tom Hardy is a method actor, so like you kind of like Christian Bale, which I don't really like as an actor, but Christian Bale will put himself through physically whatever he has to do to make that role work. He buffed up for Batman. He's gained weight, lost
all
weight.
that
Yeah,
for the machinist. Like he was like
yeah.
dangerously thin. for that
Yeah, but that's called method acting. They go through that so they can really portray that. And Tom Hardy's one of those characters. Like every character that I've seen him play, he's put himself into. So it's not just it's crazy how some actors can just act and some actors are just like, no, we're doing the whole thing.
I become this. I am this person. I am this person. Well, what I like about it, and I honestly think this is going to be and don't get me wrong, I loved Venom. I love the last Venom movie. It is one of my favorite films. I love it. I honestly think that this is going to be a lot better than that one.
Yeah. I feel like it is. And it's going to propel Sony's credit and that's what I'm saying. They're learning a lot from Marvel with the partnership. Yes, and how to build and not necessarily release everything in one movie. Slow play it. Make a couple movies, tease some things, and really like build your brand, build your characters. Because I believe I I strongly believe we're gonna get a Venom versus Spider-Man movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh yes.
we're gonna
If
have
it's not
to.
Tom Holland in the webhead suit,
Yeah.
I'll be really disappointed.
Yeah.
I really think Tom Holland and Tom Hardy would really play well off of each other.
Man, wouldn't they be so great? Because Tom Hardy is so straight nosed. Like, I mean, not as a person, but as an actor. Like he
innocent.
Yeah. So Tom Hardy is just like hard nosed, and then Tom Holland is just like
Venom.
like the littlest kid ever, and like like, man, it would be so great to see them opposite. They're so great opposites too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this trailer, I mean, Carnage looks unreal. I mean, it's like they ripped him right off the comic pages. And getting Woody Harrelson to play him,
Harrelson.
Me and Carly talked about it, because this isn't the first time he's played a serial killer.
No, Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, he did a great job in that movie. If you've never seen that movie, go watch it, please.
Oh yeah,
it's well worth it.
And just where he's even more sadistic in this movie as Cletus. He's literally bringing Cletus to life. The part where he's like, "I've tasted blood," and that's not it. That plays back in the comics to the fact that Cletus was cannibalistic before he became Carnage.
Yeah. And it's insane that they're. I mean, me and you honestly never thought we'd see Carnage on screen. Never.
No.
I would never have guessed we'd seen Carnage or Venom, let alone. But man, they are doing a great job. Like, they are learning. Yeah. They're like shadowing Marvel and Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige seems to be helping them and like, listen, this is what you want to do. If you want this to work, follow these steps.
Do it like this. Do it like this.
And they seem to be doing great. Like, I really think Sony and Marvel are really creating a great partnership, because man, we got Spider-Man in Marvel movies, and then Sony's got their own thing going with Venom with
the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
So Spider-Man. When I mean about the Spider-Verse, I don't mean the like. I'm talking about the Spider-Man universe where the Spider-Man's roll call of characters, which that's Morbius, and which is funny because it's Morbius is taking place in the MCU,
right?
But is being made by Sony. So
exactly. And that's the partnership I'm talking about. Like, they're working together instead of against each other. So Sony.
But I also believe this is played by Disney.
Disney
to get Spider-Man back.
Disney will conquer all. I mean, if you don't know what Disney's trying to do, they're going to conquer all. But Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios started out on their own without Disney. And so I believe that Kevin Feige is trying to help Sony build their own thing and try and fight that as long as possible, if possible. But Disney is ridiculous. They will fucking crush everything. So,
but in this trailer, one of my favorite parts is it shows in the church, and it shows now. If you notice though, the way that Carnage, when Cletus becomes Carnage, and the way that Eddie becomes Venom, are two totally different things. Like, Venom envelops, and it's just like that Riot did with in the first movie with what's his name. They form onto their host the exact same way, where like they envelop them.
Right, but
Cletus seemed to like morph
out of himself.
Carnage.
Yeah,
like it was
coming out of himself. Right. Yes. Yeah. And Carnage, Carnage is just as much Cletus as Cletus is Carnage. Like, they are just the same being. Yeah.
But as one of my favorite scenes is when Cletus turns into Carnage, and the Venom's standing there, and he goes right back into Venom.
Yeah. He's like, oh, no.
He goes, oh, it's a red one. He's like, what? He's like, you need to come back. He goes, no. And he's like, I'll let you eat everybody. Everybody? Yeah. Promise? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'll do it for a Scooby snack, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a red one.
Oh,
that's great.
It's a red one. So there's the Carnage. Let There Be Carnage. Venom. Let There Be Carnage trailer coming out this fall. They haven't given us an exact release date quite yet.
I think
something that they
if I have to
did give-
guess, it'll be around October or like Halloweenish, or it will
October
be
in mid-
Thanksgiving.
late
It'll be
October-
around
late
there.
Yeah, it'll be
Between
late October, mid-November.
Halloween and Thanksgiving is where I think it'll fall.
Yeah.
So
So another Marvel thing that we want to get into is we're going to kind of go back over the first 2 episodes and then go over the latest episode, which I want to save the second episode for last because of what today is.
yeah. Yeah.
So I do want to save that second episode for our last review. But what we're going to go over is the What If series. Now, the What If series was one of my favorite, as it is very near and dear to me growing up, because that was one of my favorite Marvel comics. And what if is you sit around with your friends, and especially if you're comic book nerds, and you talk about, well, what if this, what if that, what if Hulk was Thor, or what if Superman had landed in Gotham and became Batman instead, or what if this, what if that.
Yeah.
So Marvel one day decided, well, let's write these comics, and what if this person did this? What if the Hulk killed Wolverine, which was one of my favorites?
Yeah.
What if Reed Richards became the Silver Surfer, or whatever?
Yeah, it's like fan thoughts, like
it's
if,
basically a bunch of
like,
fan service. It's a bunch of fan service is what it is. So what they are doing with this series is it's not so much what if, but it's more MCU what if. So the first episode we have is what if Peggy Carter had taken the super soldier serum instead of Steve, which I'm going to say this, Rect, and I know you're going to hate me for this. But I as much as I am loving this show, I'm a little disappointed in it as well.
Yeah, it has its shortcomings. It does. So.
Because they show, but other than the last episode, they don't show the long-term effects of these minor changes.
Yeah, but the what if is kind of like a snapshot of different things that could have been in different universes. So
well, I mean, they don't show the deeper impact of these.
Yeah, but
except in the latest episode.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yes, kind of. But like I said, they're more snapshots into like this universe. This happened, because they wanted these comics to be super popular, and if they were super, so let's say, okay, so episode 1 is Peggy Carter becoming Captain Britain, or Captain Peggy,
Captain
whatever
Carter.
you want to call it. Yeah, Captain Carter. With the British Shield, and she's got all the super soldier serum, and
Steve basically becomes Iron Man.
Yes, right. So different things fall in place of different things. But if that comic book would have blown up, we'd have a whole lifeline
series.
Yeah. But they didn't. These were great because they were kind of short lived, and that's what makes them great to me. Because if you start building on what if, you can go forever. But they did little snapshots here and there, and they showed you how things can be different. And I think that's great because it is short lived, and you can make your own ideas about what happened. And that's what if started about.
Yeah.
What if Iron Man didn't do this? What if Captain America didn't do this? What if Hulk didn't or did do that? That's what. So they're still leaving it open to more what if,
Yeah. Well, so with the first episode, like I said, it's what if Peggy had become Captain Carter. One of my favorite scenes in this episode is the train scene. When they're on the train and they're jumping on now in Captain America: The First Avenger, this is where we lose Bucky.
Right.
And Bucky ends up becoming the Winter Soldier. These events lead to Bucky becoming Winter Soldier. Just that one scene in Captain America. And this, Peggy catches him as he's falling, and pulls him up on the back up on the train. And my favorite, this was one of my favorite scenes, because as he's landing, he goes, "Oh, you almost ripped my arm off with that."
Yes.
And I was kind of but it's one of those jokes. It's like,
Yeah, wah, wah, wah. Right. Yeah, so Bucky never becomes Winter Soldier in this.
Soldier,
I mean, yeah,
and Steve becomes basically becomes the first Iron Man because he was supposed to get the super serum, the serum
hmm
instead of Peggy. So they're
but
like, well, you still. He's like, I still want, but he doesn't. He's not Iron Man. He's Hydra Stomper
yeah, Hydra something, which is how is that
in a
not a
suit.
badass name? Like that is an awesome
suit,
name.
in a suit powered by the Tesseract.
Yes, right. So like, and that's the thing. So like, any little that's the difference. So, but the great thing, the great thing about these shows and especially this episode, is just yes. So we're all waiting for Bucky to die, and he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know this is the progression of the Captain America story, and it's not Captain America's story. It's Peggy Carter's story now.
Peggy's, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's her building her own universe and what happens when she's in when she has the powers and Steve becomes Iron Man and that's awesome. Like how cool is that to see friggin' Steve show up in the Iron Man suit, you know, like or like the version of the Iron Man suit, GI Joe Iron Man, you know, like that's super cool. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah, and so I mean, I think, and I've said this before about these Marvel series, is the first episode is always kind of and then they get better and better and better and better,
right.
and they have been,
Yeah.
but we're gonna skip the second episode because I want to do that one last. Um, so we're gonna jump into the third episode, which is what if Earth had lost its mightiest heroes, which this one
I don't
the
when did this one come out?
this was been a couple of days.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, so this one is what if Earth had lost its mightiest heroes, and it
Oh
plays
yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
This one.
so-
So this
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
starts out at the scene where Iron Man is, he's gotten drunk at his birthday party the night before from Iron Man 2. He's up in the donut, and that's where this is starting out, where they're coming to talk to him and to give him the shot.
Yeah.
They kind of help him, not cure him of his what was the element, palladium or something like that, poisoning.
Yeah.
But just kind of give him
Yeah.
kind of cure him a little bit.
Yeah, they were helping him out from the poisoning.
But
So
in this, when they give him the shot, it doesn't cure him. He dies on
instantly.
the
Like
spot. Almost
instantly.
instantly. So they're like, "What the heck's going on here?" So Widow,
And then they frame Black Widow for it. Well, so they think Black Widow
is thought to have killed Tony. We get to, and this really also shows you where in the timeline the MCU movies take place as well. The separate MCU movies take place as well. So at this time is when Thor's hammer has landed in the New Mexico desert.
Yeah.
And so at this time is also when Thor shows up at the Shield little makeshift base that they've got built around Mjolnir to get it, where it goes to a scene where he's going to lift the hammer and Hawkeye has the bow drawn on him.
And Nick Fury's telling him, "No, don't take the shot.
Don't take the shot. Don't take the shot. Don't take the shot." And all of a sudden he takes the Thor is shot with an arrow because he is no longer
right. He's
Thor,
human. He is human at this point.
He's killed.
Killed instantly. Hawkeye, such a great.
So then Hawkeye gets imprisoned. He gets taken in,
and
while he's in there,
right under constant surveillance.
He dies.
Nick Fury goes to talk to him, realize he's dead too. So now we have Hawkeye, Thor, Iron Man's dead. Black Widow's in the wind because she's wanted for murder for.
Well, she escapes, and Fury helped her escape.
Right, because he wants her to investigate.
Yeah,
outside of the. Go ahead. Yeah.
So outside of Shield's, outside of Shield's involvement, investigate, because they don't believe, neither one of them. He obviously believes that Black Widow did not kill Iron Man. So she goes and seeks out Betty Ross, who is, if you know anything about the MCU lore and have watched the Hulk, which is Bruce Banner's girlfriend.
Right. And it's
Uh,
also the daughter of Thunderbolt Ross.
but Ross, who ends up becoming in the comics Red Hulk. So
Well, he's
she
the
is going.
General Ross, but in the movie, he's been in several movies, in
Yeah.
MCU movies, but
Yeah.
General Ross, yeah.
And she is deduced, and well, Fury is deduced at this point that everybody he was going to recruit for the Avengers Initiative is being knocked off.
Yeah.
So so she takes the syringe to Betty to have her look at it. They can't find anything wrong with it. Love you too, Grounded.
Good night.
She can't find anything wrong with it, so she goes to leave and realizes Bruce is there.
Yeah.
Which again, they've brought all the original actors back to play
Almost. So what?
Almost not Tony. Not Tony.
Okay, so what happened was, all right. So they didn't ask any of the the voice actors or the actors who aren't under contract. So Chris Evans didn't do his voice. Robert Downey Jr.
Didn't do his.
Right. And then they left it up to the other people. They didn't get paid for any of this, so anybody who came back just to play their character.
Just to do their character. That's it.
So
they got Mark Ruffalo doing the voice of Bruce Banner.
Of course,
it's not Scarlett playing the voice of Widow in this.
Well, they were never gonna have Scarlett after what happened, but yes, even if Scarlett recorded lines. Even if she recorded lines, they would have recorded somebody else quick.
Oh so. Yeah. But
they're not happy with her. But whatever.
This is taking place. This actually is taking place at would have been in the scene in Hulk with God, I forgot his name last week. What is his name?
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. So this would have been the scene where Edward is at the college, at the university, and Thunderbolt Ross is attacking him on the university where he's in the sky bridge going between the two university buildings. So this is when that is taking place. He gets shot in the leg and
he gets shot in the shoulder.
Was it the shoulder? Or he gets shot.
Yeah.
And becomes the Hulk.
Obviously, we knew that was going to happen.
And then all of a sudden, during the middle of the battle, he starts enlarging and blows up.
Which like a blob.
And I was watching this thing going, really?
Yeah.
It looked like a giant booger exploded.
Yeah, but you understand. Okay, so when you figure out what's going on, like you understand, that's how you do it. That's how you kill the Hulk, right? Yeah.
So Widow does some background. She goes to do some background investigation. She gets attacked. And
you missed the best part. Loki shows up.
On
Earth.
Shows up. That's right.
With the entire friggin' army of Asgard. Asgardian. The
army.
Crown Prince of Asgard. Yes.
With Lady Sif.
Yes, and all the other Thor.
Royal Asgardian. Yeah. And because Thor's dead, they're seeking retribution.
Right.
And we've got Tom Hiddleston playing the voice of Loki, obviously.
Yes.
And Nick Fury tells him, said, look, we're looking for the same person because they're killing my people too. So tell you what, you team up with us. We do an alliance together. Let us catch the guy, but we'll let you have a little fun with him too. So right after that, Widow goes to do some investigating. The killer shows up. She figures out who it is. She goes to call Nick. And I'm forgetting. He said they both kind of figure out that they're what's going on. And he said he pulls out a beeper from like the 90s. Now, if you've watched Infinity War or Captain Marvel, you know what this is. This is Nick Fury's way of contacting Captain Marvel. So anyways, Widow contacts Fury during this fight with this assailant who they don't show, you can't see. Grounded. Oh, thank you, Grounded, for that gifted tier 1 sub. Okay. I was starting to wonder where my daughter was getting money at. Uh, anyways, we find out that she calls. It's all right. Don't worry, Credit. Don't worry. Anyhow, um, she has more money than you. So anyway, she calls Fury, and she she gets before she out. Only thing she gets out in the message to Fury before she dies. It's all about hope. It's all about hope. Which again, you walked off, and I was mentioning that the fact that when they were talking about when they figured out that they were knocking off everybody that was going to be part of the Avengers Initiative, he's like, "Well, they haven't got everybody yet," and he pulls out the beeper.
Yeah, for Captain Marvel. Right. And he doesn't use it at that point in time, though.
Yeah, he doesn't use it. So, he hears the voice. He hears it. And he goes, "I figured." At this point, you've kind of seen his face. I figured out who this is. So he goes to a cemetery, and he is standing over the grave of Hope Van Dyne. So if you know anything about the Marvel MCU, Hope is the daughter of Hank Pym.
Yep.
Who is the first Ant-Man. Now, I didn't... So of course, who shows up but none other than Hank Pym? It has been Hank who has been knocking off these characters.
Hank Pym in the Yellow Jacket suit, too.
Was that the Yellow Jacket suit?
Yes. He was in the Yellow Jacket suit, which happens in the comic. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's in the Yellow Jacket suit. Yes. Hank Pym is a troubled character in the comics. But he does don the Yellow Jacket suit from time to time. Yes. But yes, he did have the Yellow Jacket armor on. So
he's been using the Yellow Jacket armor to kill these heroes. So when he went into Tony, killed Tony. He's the one that caused Hawkeye to shoot the arrow. He went into Hawkeye, killed Hawkeye.
He went into Hulk.
Killed the Hulk.
Yeah.
He went into Hulk and threw an enlarger on Hulk's heart, which caused it to expand and blow up. That's how you.
Yes,
and
that's how you kill the Hulk.
Kill the Hulk.
Yeah. Smart. Because there's no other way.
Not out of Widow, and at one point, Fury asks him, "Well, why did you kill Thor?" He goes, "Well, because look at it. He's a god. From you would have
recruited in a minute. Yeah.
So." And he's doing this because in this What If, Hope was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. as the Wasp and was killed in action. And this is Hank's way of getting retribution for Hope's death. Well, this big fight between Fury and...
The best part is that the best part, and my wife pointed it out, and we'll get to that, but so... Hank turns into Ant-Man, where goes small, and Fury just swats him down like nothing.
Yeah, and at one point he flat palms him.
Yes,
he goes flat palms him, and he goes flying back. And I was watching this scene, and I'm like,
so
there is no way Nick Fury is that fast.
So hold on. We'll get there. So Nick Fury and Hank's doing the small versus large, doing all that, and Nick Fury's just swatting him away like nothing. Like he's just beating the hell out of him.
It's like a scene out of like the Matrix where Neo is taking on, and he just
like Hank,
whatever.
And you're absolutely right, because Nick Fury doesn't have that kind of power. Like, he's pretty good, but he doesn't have that. So you slowly start to realize that this isn't Nick Fury. This is Loki fighting Hank Pym as Yellow Jacket. So Loki is just beating the snot out of him. Like, he's just slapping him around like nothing.
Well, when you said it's Loki, it's not Loki. As far as we know at this point, it's Fury.
Right. But
you just kind of spoiled what it was.
No. But like, it's not Fury, because Fury doesn't have that power. So Fury like multiplies into all these.
That's where you kind of figure out what it is. It's Loki.
Yeah.
And so then all these other Lokis, so he then all the Lokis morph from being Fury into being Loki, and that's where Fury walks up, and that's where we kind of get, well, why did you kill Thor? Well,
right.
you would have recruited him anyway.
And then comes, so the line
Fury
is,
tells him,
so the line is, so you killed him just because you could. And then that's when the fight starts. Like, it's literally Loki asking why he killed Thor. Loki as Nick Fury, and then he's like, "'Cause I could, you know." And then basically Loki goes insane, and it just starts beating the hell out of him.
The fight ends again. That when it ends with not only them standing around him, but the Loki has caused Hank to destroy Hope's tombstone.
Yeah,
over her grave. Then it's when we revealed that we get revealed that it's Loki who has been doing all this, and Fury comes up and he tells him, he said, "Look, Hope died on a mission, doing what she thought was right.
Yeah,
she saved the world when she died, you know." And he said, "Well, then you." And then Hank turns around and says, "Well, then you honor her." And then they arrest Hank and take him off. So Fury, this is what I talk about, where they show this episode, they show the long-term effects of the what if events happening. So again, and this is MCU what if. So Nick turns to Loki and says, "Well, what are you going to do?" He goes, "I guess you're going back to Asgard." He goes, "Well, you know, now that I've been here in Midgard, I've been thinking I kind of want to stay a little bit longer." And Nick says, "Well, how long?" So then it cuts to another scene where it shows Loki. It looks like he's walking into the UN. It looks like he's about to address the UN. Turns out he's not addressing the UN. That Loki has taken over because Earth's mightiest heroes are no longer no more.
So my daughter at this point is like, so nobody's left to fight him, and I said, "Oh no!" I said, and yes, this is a point in that Nick Fury said throughout the episode. The Avengers are an idea, not people. The Avengers are an idea. So the Avenger Initiative is created as an idea, not just the people that fit. So
and he's standing over the caskets of Iron Man, Hulk, Hawkeye, and Widow, and Thor. So he's standing over their caskets. He walks past them after explaining, talking about this to who is it? He was standing there
Coulson.
talking to. It's Coulson.
Coulson, yeah.
And this is also Coulson's first appearance in the What If series too.
Yeah,
Coulson was there. He walks over and he swipes at it. It looks like some ice, and you see the shield. And he goes, "Welcome back, Cap."
Right.
And he turns aside, and there's
Captain Marvel standing there.
There's
and that's what I told my daughter. I said, so there's still Stephen Strange. There's still Captain America. That what they reveal. Captain Marvel. There's still all these Avengers. Shang-Chi's still out there. Daredevil,
which is about to release, by the way, guys.
Yeah. I'm just saying there are plenty of other heroes that will form the Avengers. Because my daughter's like, so Loki just won? No. He's won for now. Nick Fury is building the next Avengers team.
So the episode I'm waiting on, I keep thinking that it's the next episode. It's going to be the next episode. Is the MCU Zombies?
Oh yeah,
and
it will be.
Wait.
You know what? Me and my daughter had that conversation too. She's like, "I want the zombies," and I'm like, "It's going to be the last episode. They will not. That's the one everybody wants. That's the last episode." Yeah, it's going to be the last episode.
As I've been waiting for Marvel Zombies to hit either the big screen or the small screen since I read the first story arc of Marvel Zombies. I absolutely fell in love with it. I actually have the hard copy somewhere around here.
So, if you guys don't know what Marvel Zombies is, it's basically like all your favorite characters as zombies with all their powers. With all their powers.
What if series ever?
Yes, it's the most popular, which is why it's going to be the last. It's going to be the last episode.
Yeah. So I want to get into the second episode, and the reason I wanted to do the second episode last because today, and I want to play something actually.
Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's actually a special day if you guys don't know.
Today is a special day for fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. today is 1 year ago that we lost our king, Chadwick Boseman, to cancer. Wakanda forever.
Yeah, Wakanda forever.
So I want to play a tribute for him because this episode of What If was not only Chadwick Boseman's last performance ever, but it is the last time that we get to see Chadwick as T'Challa.
Yeah.
So real quick, I want to play this. This is a Chadwick Boseman tribute that they did, and it's all as Black Panther that they did with interviews.
And before you start, knowing what we know now, he recorded these lines and he knew what, you know what I'm saying? Like he
knew
he was sick while he recorded these lines, and still, it's like, man, wow. But yes, go ahead.
It was Chadwick Boseman's performance in 42 that really made us take a second look. There is such an honor and dignity to the way that he played Jackie Robinson that we knew we needed for the character of T'Challa, the Prince of Wakanda.
Chadwick is an amazing actor and we thought would fit perfectly with the MCU.
Black Panther himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick, he has a lot of depth. It was amazing as an audience member to look into his eyes and see what's going on.
We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
A lot of the things about the character are also true about Chad. He's very knowledgeable. He's an athlete, martial artist. He's had a lot of experience playing roles that come with a lot of weight, So I think he has a person, he has a guy, has a lot of weight to him. I think he brings all of that stuff to the role, but not to mention that he's incredibly gifted as an actor and as a performer, and also as a storyteller in his own right.
I am not king of all people. I am king of Wakanda. And it is my responsibility to make sure our people are safe.
Because he is so prepared as an actor, and because his character is sort of flawless on set, it forced the other actors who had scenes with him to kind of raise their game and go, okay, this guy's not taking anything for granted. He's really leaving it all out there. So we have to keep up with him.
What doesn't Chadwick bring to the character? I mean, he's regal and grounded, and he brings a gravitas to it. So all of this feeds his T'Challa, and I think he wore the crown with dignity.
I've known him since I was about 17, so I've known him for a really long time. Back in New York, he did the work, obviously. I just think he did an incredible job being true to the character.
I had a great time with Chadwick. Just warmth and camaraderie came into it, of course, with a great deal of respect for his previous work. So when I looked at him with proud eyes, they were as mother and also as comrade and colleague and Angela. It is your time to be king.
I mean, Chadwick is just a powerhouse. He's so talented. Every single movie he's made, there's kind of this internal, almost nobility.
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations.
He's such a soulful actor and so professional, so present. It really gives so much to the other person, and he's awesome. And his presence on set, I think, raises the stakes a little bit for everybody.
Chadwick he's a really smart, interesting, dynamic guy, and I think he was not overwhelmed, but very surprised and somewhat taken aback by the amount of love. It ceased to become just about how well he inhabited the role and all that stuff. It's become part of our culture just as a symbol.
This welcome is one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced. it's fun to watch just what it means to people. At times, in my head, I'll be like, well, what does this do for the world? Like, actually, what is it? Is it actually valuable in this climate? And I have to say, yes, it actually is. Not because it makes people escape. I think when done right, it gives people hope. I found that it means a lot.
And so that's been 1 year ago today that we lost Chadwick. I don't think they could have ever picked anybody better to play the role of T'Challa.
That's why they won't replace him. There's nobody better to play
T'Challa.
Yeah.
Now I do know that in the next one that Shuri will be taken in Wakanda Forever, which is right now the working title for Black Panther 2. That Shuri is taking up the mantle.
Yeah,
which happens.
It's her birthright, right?
Which also happens in the comics.
Yeah, and it's her birthright, so she's next in line for the throne. So after T'Challa, it falls to her. So,
but
I just want to bring up that Chadwick Boseman is in almost every episode of What If. His voice is in almost every episode. He's in more episodes. So
really?
This one, yes, the second episode is not his last episode to record.
Well,
because there are several episodes where Black Panther crosses over, and he spoke every line. So
I didn't see it in the last one of the first one.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and look and see him. But this is the last time.
Yeah, no, he's in almost every. He's not in every episode, but any episode that T'Challa is in. And
well, they said this episode that they recorded. It was the last time. It was his last time.
Yeah, well, he's because his voice isn't. Yeah, so.
Well, I'm saying is that when they recorded,
it's him as T'Challa. Yeah,
it was him. So.
It's
this
hard,
episode,
man.
It is. I teared up at the end of the episode when they dedicated the episode to him.
Yeah.
But this episode is what if T'Challa was Star-Lord. So in other words, instead of Peter Quill being kidnapped by Yondu and the Ravagers, it's T'Challa. And what happens is they mix Taserface and
so what happens is Yondu sends Taserface and the guys instead of Yondu going and finding Peter, and they mistake T'Challa for Peter.
Because T'Challa walks outside the barrier and they see a child, so they kidnap him. And that's one of my favorite lines. Is they I thought it's a little bit racist, but they go, well, they all look alike.
Yeah,
and I was like. Wait a minute here.
They were like, he has two ear holes, one mouth, two eye holes, and one mouth hole. They all look the same. Yeah.
So they end up kidnapping T'Challa instead of Peter Quill. Well, this has a major impact on the galaxy. One that I absolutely loved was now the Ravagers, instead of being these pirates, are kind of like the Ravagers as a whole are the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're right, and they go around helping people. Like they go around helping civilization, societies, making the universe a better place, instead of being pirates.
Of T'Challa being Star-Lord, T'Challa has taken over. Pretty much has taken over the Ravagers. He is like the king of the Ravagers.
Yeah.
But the one that I love the most.
My daughter was like, "Oh my god, yeah."
And they kind of nerfed him for a little bit for this. Thanos.
They did, and I even complained during the episode. When we'll get to that, but yes, they did.
Thanos is a Ravager. He is no longer the Mad Titan. He is Thanos. He is the Ravager. He's one of the Ravagers. He is a nice guy because T'Challa talked him into being a nice guy. Taught him that there was better ways, which I love the fact that they keep calling him a genocidal maniac.
Yeah, and he's like, well, it's a good, because he's like, he still has this idea of wiping out half, That's still his idea, and he's like,
but
it's a good idea. I
it's
still
a good
think it's
idea. It's
but
still a
you're
good idea.
genocidal, right? So
even Okoye calls him genocidal.
So I just have to confirm this, that Chadwick Boseman is in 5 episodes and plays 3 different versions of T'Challa. So
okay.
Look forward to
what I read though was that
this is probably his last recordings.
His last recording.
But he's in more episodes, so this isn't the last time we'll see him in the series. But this is probably you're right. This is probably his last recordings right here.
Granted, that Thanos looked like a raisin in this episode.
Listen here, Grimace. Listen here, Grimace. Grimace.
One of the California raisins.
Oh man. Okay. So yeah, because
they do this. So here's the thing. So they've got Nebula, and Nebula does not look like she did in the movies. She's got hair. It looks like the only part of her that's robotic is the piece around her eye.
I just want to bring this up. Nebula had hair in the comics. She looks like more of her comic version. The bald was an MCU choice.
Yeah. So, but again, this is not what if.
No.
What if this is MCU? What if?
Right. And I'm just saying. So, like in the comics, she has hair. So the MCU, the movie, they chose to go bald.
Version.
So,
they went bald. But it looks like the only part of her that's robotic is the part that's around the eye.
Mm-hmm. Because Thanos was stopped from being a mad, crazy person.
He was no longer the Mad Titan.
Right.
So, in this, Nebula has shown him that there's this. I can't remember what they called it, but there's basically this stuff that you can just a little bit of it can cause a whole planet to basically a dead planet to come back to life.
Right. It's basically magic dust. Yeah.
Yeah. It's magic beans.
Yeah. Right. Jack and the Beanstalk. Magic beans. Right.
But the only place that they can find this is on Nowhere, where the Collector, they have to get it from the Collector. Which I will say the difference in this is with the Collector in this is it's still Benicio del Toro playing that role. Yeah. But in the MCU, the Collector was not all big and buff like he is in this.
Well, it's a different universe. Right. Yeah, so, and even Thanos kind of mentions it because in the power vacuum that Thanos created, because Thanos isn't being created, it left an opening, and
the Collector saw
the Collector stepped into that. Basically, so the Collector is the bad guy in this one.
He's kind of more the Mad Titan
yes
in this than Thanos is. So they've got to go and steal these shards from the Collector. And I will say that this episode was very Ocean's 11.
I'm gonna tell you what, this is my favorite episode so far.
Yeah,
because of the character that we're gonna fixing to talk about.
Let's just go ahead. Howard
the Duck, man, and he releases him from his cage. So Howard's in the universe now.
We get the biggest part.
Yes.
In the entire MCU.
Howard
ever.
The Duck.
And it's the animated version, but we get the biggest parts, our biggest time with Howard the Duck in this episode. Which
should be a little shine to you because that was George Lucas's film, Howard the Duck, that came out in the 80s that didn't do so well, but it's still George Lucas, so.
Well, it's because of the whole love scene.
Yeah, I mean,
between the human woman and the
it was the 80s and it was crazy. But Howard the Duck is an awesome character, and he's actually in the last battle in Endgame. If you guys haven't seen him, he's kind of hard to spot, but he is there.
He's in the end credit scene for the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Howard the Duck is a crazy, awesome character. So.
He is one of the wackiest next to the Merc with the mouth. He is one of the kind of out there characters. In the entire Marvel universe.
And he's a good character. I'm glad that they had an extended.
He is supposed to be getting his own series that Kevin Smith is supposed to be. It's supposed to be hitting up.
Oh, Kevin Smith! Please God. Redeem
we're
yourself.
We're not going to
go back, but
we still got a part 2 to He-Man, so he could redeem himself with this.
Yeah, well, I mean, Let's see. So
He's killed him off twice. He can bring him back twice. We don't know
I
yet.
mean, So
We're
Howard
not
the
going to
Duck.
get into that. We're not going to get into that.
Right. We're talking about the Marvel what if, but Howard the Duck is there, and he actually is telling T'Challa, "You want to go down 3 floors left, and then take a right, and he's like, so T'Challa releases him like, how about you just show me the way? And I was like, yes, yes, Howard the Duck is free. Which is amazing.
Seth Green voices
Yes.
Howard the Duck.
And I told my wife that. I said, that's Seth Green's voice. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, listen, it's Seth Green. Yes.
He's even credited in everything that they have to do. Hold on, I got a bot. Give me a second here.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, I recognize Seth Green's voice. I was like, that's Seth Green. And my wife's like, yeah, kind of, maybe. And I'm like, no, that's Seth Green. I can hear it. So that's awesome. So Howard the Duck is basically, Howard the Duck is basically showing T'Challa where to go to find these magic beans, basically.
As they do, they walk past that's when everything goes into lockdown, I think, at that point. And he walks by, and there is a Wakandan spaceship.
Yep.
In the Collector's possession. He goes on, and his presence activates a sensor, which is a recorded message from T'Chaka, who at this time would still be
king,
would be king and be Black Panther, stating that he has created this fleet of spacecraft to search the universe for T'Challa. But if T'Challa hears this, to let him know that he was loved. And I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself, because at one point Nebula asks T'Challa, why didn't you ever go home? He goes, well, I was going to, but Yondu told me Wakanda was wiped out.
Right.
So I chose not to return.
Yeah.
Because I have no people there anymore.
Right.
Which now T'Challa finds out that Yondu was lying, and that
his dad and his family have been searching for him this whole time.
His people his entire nation has been searching for him.
Right.
Well, we come to find out that Nebula double crosses him. That the thing that the Collector wanted wasn't anything that they had. He was wanting T'Challa. Which
basically,
I want to get back to something real quick though.
Yeah.
Is somebody who joins the group is the guard from, and I really hated how they did this character. I really, really, really hated it, because he was such kind of a badass in Guardians, and they nerfed him so much for this. Was the guard that finds him, and it's like he becomes starstruck, and he's going around telling, well, me and Star-Lord,
right. So it's the reverse. Yeah, it's so, and that's the same guy who does the voice too.
Yeah.
So it's the reverse of when Star-Lord first meets that guy, and he's like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? And he's like, but this is like, oh my gosh, it's Star-Lord. Everyone, it's Star-Lord. Yeah.
He's like, and they get to the fight. He's like, I'll let you take the first hit. And he's like, what? And he goes, no, this is how you do it. And he's telling him how to fight him, why he's fighting him. And he's like, and he knocks him out. And he goes, it is such an honor to be knocked out by you.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a complete reverse of the movie. So
yeah, and he's going around like, me and T'Challa, we're like best friends.
Oh my
man.
gosh, right. He's telling everyone they're best friends, and they
they do everything
yes.
together.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Classic Star-Lord.
Yeah, classic Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. Everything. Classic Star-Lord. So we find out that the thing that the Collector wanted was T'Challa.
Right.
Because the Wakandans were looking for him. They were searching for him. So he's like, I have to have him.
Right. So Nebula owed a debt to the Collector, and she double-crossed T'Challa to pay off that debt. Yeah.
But then we find out that no, she not only was she double crossing T'Challa to pay off the debt, she was also double crossing the Collector for T'Challa to get him home.
Yes.
So everything.
Yeah, it's a big Ocean's 11, right?
Like I said, this played out very Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Because she not only did she do that, but she also you find out that before she had told T'Challa about what was going on.
Right.
Which at the time, T'Challa he gets mad with Yondu because Yondu lied to him. and I can't remember exactly what Yondu tells him to tell. Why he, I lied. He's like,
Well-
basically we screwed up, and I couldn't. I had to make good with the screw up.
Well, and then
so
like it's the
but look,
same
he's like,
thing,
but look
but
at
he-
all the good you've done.
So-
He's like,
so-
but look at all the good
right.
you've done because of my lie. Look at all the good you've done in
Right.
the universe.
But and it's the thing because T'Challa in the beginning tells his dad T'Chaka that he wants to go out and search and be a part of the world, and when
Go on
Yondu
adventure.
gets him, he's like, why stop at the one world? You can search all these worlds and be on adventures. So and that's the thing. So like that's basically what it tells him. So you didn't stop here. Like you have the whole universe, so
They end up defeating, and we find out like all. And if you really look at that wall that pops up when they get in, when T'Challa is fighting the Collector, you see a lot of things. Like you see Gamora's blood.
Oh yeah, no, you see the Thor's
Cap's
hammer,
shield.
Captain America's shield. You
Shield,
see all the
Mjolnir.
yeah.
He has Hela's helmet.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's
he has
basically
all this-
killed everybody important.
Yeah. So they do fight. Yondu uses. Oh no, Yondu goes to use his little whistle arrow to knock the helmet off, but the Collector grabs it and breaks it. But not before. What was it they used to smash the helmet? There was something they used. I can't remember what it was. But they end up breaking the helmet, knocking it off of him, and escaping in the Wakandan ship. Well, which they do. They return back to Wakanda so that T'Chaka can find his son and see that he's alive. T'Challa tells him all the good he's done. Yondu tells him, he said, "Look, I'm the one who took him, but your son is not just a savior of Wakanda, but he is a savior of the entire universe,
Right.
of the entire galaxy, and he is loved throughout the entire galaxy." We also and then everybody's sitting around talking about, we got Thanos sitting on the couch with Okoye, which he tells him again that he's a genocidal maniac, and he says, but it's still a good idea.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
it's always but still a good idea.
Right.
Another thing we get into, and I was waiting for him to say you should have gone for the head, is we get to see the Black Order in this. Because they no longer work.
Yes, so
for
Proxima
Thanos.
Midnight is actually
Maul?
Yeah, Maul, Proxima Midnight. They're actually work for the Collector instead of Thanos. So basically, the Collector becomes Thanos.
Yeah, like I said, in this he becomes. But there's a scene where they are attacking Thanos, and they're smashing him in the back. They're hitting him in the back. The great big one. I can't remember his name.
That is Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Yeah.
And I was waiting. He kept hitting me in the back of hitting Thanos in the back. While
First of all,
Thanos is
and
on the
this
ground.
okay,
And
so
I was
this
waiting
is
for Thanos to look up and go, "You should have gone for the head," and then start beating the snot out of him.
First of all, this is my major. I know it's a different universe, and we talk about multiverse, but Thanos would have whooped all of them. Like he is still the Mad Titan. Like he would have overpowered all of these guys. Like all of them. Like it took all the Avengers fighting like recklessly and to even like have a glimpse of bringing him down, but he gets beat by like Proxima and
them all.
Yeah, like oh my god, no, he would have whooped all of them.
Well, like when they're smashed, when Obsidian is hitting him in the back and he's on the ground, he's smashing him on the back with the hammer. I kept waiting for him to go look up because I thought, okay, this is what Thanos is going to die in this. Thanos is going to die.
No,
and him to look up and go, "You should have gone for the head." I was waiting for him to say that.
That was my biggest complaint about this whole episode was Thanos would have smashed all of them with one hand, right? You know what I mean? Like one hand tied behind his back.
Yeah.
Like not even trying. Oh yeah, just. It's a good episode.
Then the best episode was this one.
I
don't know what episode is coming next.
I'm not sure.
I do know they were going to do it. They were going to do a Spider-Man episode where when Peter gets bit, instead of becoming Spider-Man, he actually becomes a spider. Which was in the comics actually happens when he is trying to help the Lizard with Morbius and him are trying to help the Lizard cure himself with the Lizard.
Yeah.
it backfires on Peter, and he actually becomes Man Spider, where he
Yeah.
is a giant spider that is inside that has the suit. But Disney and Marvel thought it was too dark of a story for this What If series.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was their official statement. Now,
Okay.
I did see screenshots or stills of Spider-Man, and this is animation done in the style of this What If, wearing and this was officials. These were official stills wearing Strange's cape,
Yeah.
and with the title "What If Spider-Man Was the Sorcerer Supreme."
Yeah. Yeah,
that may still happen.
There's a ton of what if. There is actually a what if instead of Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom becomes the Sorcerer Supreme because he is so powerful with magic.
Yeah.
So
I think the next one we're gonna get is what if the Avengers was a different lineup where we have Star-Lord, Gamora, Thor,
yeah,
and Hulk, and I think Captain Marvel as the Avengers.
I think T'Challa's in there too. Or
He may be.
Black Panther. Yeah.
He may be.
Yeah.
I have to look again. But that's the ones we've got coming up right now.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be the next one. I don't know. Again, what we're all waiting for is the Marvel Zombies. That's
Right.
what we're really waiting for. That's what we've been wanting.
That'll be
forever.
the last episode. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're more likely will be the last episode.
It will be the last episode because that's their right now. What if that's their most popular? And if that one, I mean, like I feel like it's gonna blow up. It will. I think they're gonna do more, with the zombies. I would like to see them do more. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it'll be the last episode. You save your best for last, and that's what MCU's done. So they're gonna save the best for last.
Yeah. So real quickly, I want to touch on this since our main anime freak Carly is not here. I want to touch on this real quick. Netflix has been producing a Cowboy Bebop series.
Yes.
Live action Cowboy Bebop series. Finally, we're getting a live action Cowboy Bebop.
Yes. Favorite. My favorite.
Yeah,
Absolute
you did
favorite.
this on my page. I thought I saved the link. But it is releasing November 11th. I think this was November 11th or November 19th. They've already released stills from it. It looks and it's got the corgi. The corgi is there. It looks like the anime come to life.
Right.
The outfits are dead on.
Yeah.
The characters, the way they have them made up, are dead on. So I'm really excited about this. They haven't released a trailer yet, but they have released images.
The only character they're missing from that shot that I believe, is Ed.
Is the kid. Ed, yeah. So we haven't seen Ed yet. I love you too, Grounded. She's telling me I love you, Dad. But so that is coming. In November, we will be getting that release. I think it's either the 19th or the 11th. We are getting Netflix will be releasing the live action Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
So we've got that in the news. Real quick, as far as Twitch and gaming, because again, we are big gaming nerds. We are on Twitch. A couple of things with Twitch. Yesterday, two long lost streamers who happen to be two of my favorite streamers, who just pretty much disappeared about a year ago. TSM Daquan and TSM Hamlin's big Fortnite content creators, just up and disappeared without a trace. No one knew what happened. No one knew where they went. We knew that Daquan was having some health issues. We knew that Hamlin's was having some family issues. Two of the biggest Fortnite content creators there, and they just up and disappeared. They yesterday have announced that they are back. They have left TSM and have gone to NRG, who are one of the biggest and best Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite type crews out there right now. They actually gave them a $7 million mansion for them and 12 friends that 7 friends that they have brought with them to NRG. So they are back. They are going to be doing is they are NRG Thuman, because if you know Hams, he's always Thuman. So they are back. Another thing that was talked about today, I have said about the hot tub streams and stuff like that.
Oh Lord.
Twitch has today launched a hot tub category in response to uproar over women streaming in swimwear. A lot of the male demographic, or the male, in this article, the male streamers who are streamers who are video gamers and stuff like that have come out. They a lot of this was because they were saying these streamers, these hot tub streams with these women like Amaranth and stuff like that, are taking away views, subs, followers from those that feel like that Twitch was designed and built for gamers, which I'm not saying that they are, but that's what I'm saying. That's what the platform is, and that there's other platforms for that sort of thing.
Right. But okay, so I totally agree with you, because Twitch is built for gamers, right? And you're absolutely right. And I totally agree with people being upset. But on the other hand, play devil's advocate. They're using what they got, and they're getting paid, and they're getting streamers, and they're getting followers. So
as in response to this, Twitch has launched a hot tub category for this sort of thing. Hot tubs, I think it's called hot tubs, pools, and swimwear, or something like that. Because before they were doing this under the just chattings category, and it was flooded because of these.
Yeah. Which is why we don't get any views. I'm just going to say that's why we don't get any views. You know, I'm under the just chatting category, and I can't compete with a bikini clad woman. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, this face is never. Yeah, this is never gonna.
This is not the body you want to see in a speedo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I mean,
I don't even want to see this. I don't even look down when I bathe myself. I hope that I get the area that I'm looking at.
Nice.
But I look straight ahead. There is no mirrors in my bathtub.
Nobody wants. I don't want to see this. Right.
I just hope that I get that area that I need to wash.
Right.
I do it by feel, not by sight. I don't look down. I'm like, if I have to look down, I close my eyes and
just focus on your toes. Focus on your toes. That's all you can do.
No, because my belly, I can't even see my toes anymore.
Oh man, I'm telling you. So yeah, I mean, good for Twitch, because we had the complete. I don't know if you guys are following this. The complete reversal by OnlyFans, because they were like, we're gonna shut down.
They came back on that. They pulled their.
Did they do a double reversal now? Like,
they did a reverse. So OnlyFans the other day had announced that starting October 1st, they would not allow pornographic material to be sold on the site. In other words,
did a reversal.
That you could show nudity, you could show skin, but it had to be in a tasteful context. It could not be pornographic. Because they were going along with the cons with their backers and the people that do the payouts.
But
they were actually
the problem
a few days ago they backpedaled on that and said, okay,
so they're gonna,
because enough of the content creators on that site have spoken out about this and said, you know, this is what makes us the money on here.
Yeah. And it's all about, I was about to say, it's all about money. They were going to lose all of that money. And they were like, you know what?
A lot of their biggest content creators, I was reading about these, I've been kind of following these stories, were like, okay, so that we'll go to places that we can, where we don't have to put up all these stipulant rules that you have, that we've been putting up with.
Yeah.
You're now taking money away from us, which, I mean, there's some of them that are making millions a month.
Yeah.
So the girl that played the redhead on Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
The redheaded roommate. She made, I think her first month there made over $500,000.
Yeah. That's what I from the beginning, where they're like, we're not going to allow any more. I'm like, they're going to reverse, because they're going to lose millions, if not billions of dollars. Like, that's their whole site. Everybody knows what OnlyFans is for. Everybody knows. Now, I know there's other stuff on OnlyFans, and there's I'm sure there's great fucking people on there, and there's great content, but everyone knows what OnlyFans is about.
Yeah, that's what that's for.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, they pulled that statement saying, okay, we're gonna recant that statement. And we can still do it. But a lot of their content creators are still pulling out.
Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Right. Nice. See what you did there.
So there's that. think that's it for now, as far as I can tell. I was trying to kind of look. Usually what I do is I save these stories to my Facebook feed so that I can kind of go back and look back and see, okay, you know,
Because
we've
if
got
it
this,
doesn't
we've got
happen
that.
on Facebook, it didn't really happen.
Right? The heck with Wiki. I do this one. But yeah, that's so far. That's all there is in the news today. The news these last 2 weeks, and the big thing being the Spider-Man No Way Home
Yeah.
trailer. Again, like we're all really excited about. So we've got about 5 minutes left. So let's do a real quick Q&A. So if any of y'all got any questions, we feel free to ask us a question. Again, we ask this to be questions that we both can answer. I know Steph has a lot of answers, and please do not get me in trouble again, Steph.
No, we're going to be family friendly, so, or try to be as family friendly as possible. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
I do know something now, and I told me and Carly talked about this the other day.
Oh yeah,
and there is something I want to show because I'm a big fan of this show, and I don't know about you.
What show is it?
Well, let me get it.
Pray, do tell.
I think this is this it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it. I think this is it. This is what put it 4 weeks ago. Yeah, this is it. All right, so we're gonna show this.
This is it. Oh, I think this is it.
This is it.
Is it?
This is it. This is it.
This is it.
So we're gonna show this real quick, guys. While y'all think of some real quick questions.
Archer.
Season 12.
My tactics were flawless, and yet my forces lie decimated.
Because you left your beastman exposed to his chaos dwarf.
Nice Warhammer.
Call me knave again.
Call me a knave
Hello
again.
there. You're probably wondering what we're doing. Short answer: saving the Earth again.
Okay, we'll pull out here.
Phrasing.
Nice.
Time for a Pam page. It's a play on words. Pam and Rampage. Pam page.
Climate change is a threatening problem.
I recycle. $3 ties from Goodwill don't count.
That's the second biggest automatic lube wall I've ever seen.
Of course, it's the second biggest.
I'm
Yes.
not leaving without you, Cyril. I need something soft to land on.
What's with all these overly decorative pests?
You mean butterflies?
Kill them as caterpillars, I say.
So that is actually started. I haven't watched it yet, but that is on FX on Hulu.
Nice.
I am a big Archer fan. My wife actually is the one that got me into Archer. Then she decided it was kind of dumb.
Oh no, Archer's ridiculously awesome. Like it can never not be awesome. So
Okay, so I have a question from my chat. This should be an easy question to answer for us.
okay.
So the question is, who is your? And this is from Grounded for Life, my daughter. She is asking, who is your favorite Simpsons character?
Ooh, good question. That's a good question.
And this is going to be kind of hard for me because I'm not a big Simpsons fan. I'm really not. I have never been a big Simpsons or Futurama fan.
What? Do you take that back? Futurama is the best thing that ever hit.
My wife will agree with you on that. My wife loves Futurama.
Oh, by the way, if you didn't check out the shirt.
Did you get a new shirt?
Yes. Anyways.
Awesome. But I have never been a big Simpsons or a big Futurama. Like, really, to tell you the truth, I can't.
Futurama's the best.
I can't.
Futurama's way better than Simpsons. That's my opinion. Listen, no, because the whole no, Futurama's awesome. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. This is why nobody watches us, because you trash Futurama. My favorite Simpsons character would have to be Mr. Burns.
And that's what Grounded says. She says, I like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, Mr. Burns is...
One of my favorite scenes, one of my favorite scenes in The Simpsons is where Mr. Burns just gets so happy he wants to dance, so he has the guys get up on either side of him and flop his hands back and forth for him because he can't do it.
Yes, Smithers. Yeah, the whole like Smithers, that thing that's Mr. Burns.
I will say, my favorite character on The Simpsons was a character who was a main character in the show, but starting out was not who the show was supposed to be about, but ended up being that the show was about. This character is Homer.
Yeah.
I mean, originally the show was not about him. The show was about Bart.
Yeah.
And Lisa. And
Yeah.
their interactions.
If you remember way back then,
way back in when it was
Yeah.
back when it first appeared
First
on the
started,
Tracy Ullman show. But then it started to be about Homer and his being a dummy and the dumb stuff he would do.
Yeah.
It started being more about him. So Homer, I would say it'd be a close call between Homer and comic book guy.
Comic book guy. I was about to say comic book guy is pretty
Trey,
good.
what's up, man? How you doing, dude? Welcome to the stream. I got you up on my upstairs big screen for the rest of your stream while I do my thing.
Oh,
Not
nice.
a problem, dude. We ain't got very much longer left.
Appreciate it.
Do you have a question from your chat yet?
Yes, I do, and of course we have a very very smart question.
This
All
must
right.
come from your wife.
Yes. Right. All the smart questions come from my wife. So there's a bit of a controversy over the first episode of What If. Some fans were upset that they chose to make Steve into the Hydra Stomper, stating that when he became Cap, he did not need Peggy to don a suit of armor to help him. She helped by strategizing, and mostly stayed back. They feel that Steve would have done the same. Do y'all agree? What do you think they chose to give Steve the story arc in this episode? First of all,
let me say something on this.
Go, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
you've got to also take into account the time frame that which this episode takes place. So this is during World War II. This is before women's liberation. Things like that. So her becoming the super soldier and not Steve, where Steve was supposed to be, they even stated he was supposed to become the super soldier. He was supposed to have this bigger thing going on. Now, because she's got the serum in her, they can't do anything, so they have to do something with him. So it wasn't the fact that Steve didn't need somebody in a suit of armor to help him. It was because they felt that he was supposed to be the super soldier, and now he's not. They have to do something with him.
Well,
that was Shield's thing with it.
Well, also, when Steve got the super soldier serum, they sent him off to just be like publicity, like
sell bonds.
And sell war bonds.
They couldn't do that with. They felt that they couldn't do that with
Peggy. Went right into battle. So, yeah. I mean, it's a what if, and that's the great thing about what ifs. Like all the stories are going to change. You can't have Peggy Carter without Steve Rogers. So Steve Rogers was going to come in at some
But you
sort
can
of
have
point.
Steve without Peggy.
No, you can't have Steve without Peggy. Peggy is Steve's world. Like that's the point. You can't have one character without the other. Steve went back in time and gave up everything he had to be with Peggy. Like you can't.
Yeah.
They're inner. Yeah. So, and however, I know some Marvel fans feel like that was a total betrayal of Steve's character, and we can get into that in another episode because we're almost finished with this one. And we will get into that, and I have a lot of thoughts and things about that, but. They tied the characters together. They didn't separate Peggy from Steve, and they didn't separate Steve from Peggy, and that's what they. And this is one universe in the multiverse, guys. Like anything and everything can happen. So, I do have one extra question, and it's about the new Eternals trailer. I don't know if everyone's seen this, but what do you?
Yeah, I think in this they talk about. Now I haven't seen the trailer itself yet. I'm going to watch it. I haven't seen the new Eternal trailers yet. I am going to watch it, but I have heard mention that they do mention why they did not step in during the Thanos.
Yes. Yeah. So they mention why, and it's yeah. So we'll talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll answer that question. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good. I like. If you haven't seen the new preview for the Eternals, it's pretty good because they show a lot of powers for the Eternals, and if there'll be a lot of familiar, especially for for you, Finn. There'll be a lot of similarities between a certain DC character and one of the Eternals characters. A lot of similarities. You'll see that. Check it out. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Be like, oh my goodness, this is like a mirror, and they kind of did that. But yeah, we will definitely go over that. Remind me. Start of the next episode. We'll definitely.
I will definitely bring that up. So guys, this has been an awesome episode. I appreciate everybody coming out.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
appreciate everybody coming out.
Absolutely.
This has been fun. I'm glad to have my brother back with us.
Yeah.
We should have Carly back. I did talk to her. She is still trying to talk to the guy that, as I call him, Mr. Soft Serve.
Nice.
Being on the show. I'm also gonna if Rick might know who this guy is. His name is Chris Summers. He's the bass player for a band here locally called Rear Naked Choke.
Oh, nice.
But he is also a color artist. Has also worked as a color artist for DC and Marvel.
Nice.
Actually have one of his prints up here on the wall signed by him of Batman. It's this one right there.
That no one can see, tucked away in the corner. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
But anyhow, I'm going to be trying to reach out to him, try to get him on the cast.
Nice.
Have you talked to Alex lately?
I
about
have
him coming
not.
back?
I have actually been super busy with work, and I haven't even been on Twitch or done really much. But I can, and I would. You know what? I would really like to have him back, but we would have to change our time frame because he's all the way in England. So. But maybe that's something we can work out and figure out. I'll try and reach out to him. We also have Mort that we can reach out to and have him back on the show. It would be great.
Mort being back too, and that have now Mort's back. And again, if you want to be if you're a streamer or whatever, and you want to come on the podcast, kind of we'd love to shout you out here, kind of and everything. And granted, we don't have a lot of followers, but any press is good press.
Yeah.
So. Just reach out to us in Discord because you can read my Discord if you're watching me on mobile. It's right at the top over here, and it's right there. And in fact, let me go ahead and do the command for that.
Or if you're just a super nerd and you'd like to come on an episode and talk with us, we're all about the fans. So I say fans. Nobody really watches my stream, but that's fine. Like, if you want to just come on and talk nerd stuff with us, come on. We would be more than happy to have you guys come on, talk with us. If you stream, if you don't stream, if you just want to come on an episode and chat nerdy with us, let's do it. Let's chat nerd. Let's chat nerdy together.
Let's talk nerdy.
Right.
Talk nerdy to me.
Right.
But again, guys, if you're following me, you need to be following my brother over here. And I've done a shout out in my chat with a link to his channel.
This one.
So go and give him a follow if you like what you see. And again, if you're following him, you need to be coming over here and following me.
For real.
Especially that person from Brazil. I'm talking to you. But anyways, guys, if you're watching me, we're going to be doing a raid real quick. We're actually going to be raiding a friend of mine and Rex. His name is Shrimpy.
Oh, Shrimpy. Yay, Shrimpy.
Shrimpy is playing some MLB. So we're going to go give him a raid, show him some love.
I think he's been on for a while too.
This is his last stream before he starts his new job.
Oh yeah. He's been on for like hours. I know. I was checking it earlier. He was still on like 3 or 4 or 5 hours ago. He's been on. It's a long stream, so show him some love, guys. He's a really cool guy. If you like sports, that's his thing. Sports games.
Yeah. He is a big sports nut.
Yeah.
So we're actually, if you're watching my chat, we're going to go be giving him a raid. Let me bring up his stream real quick. We're going to be going to give him a raid out. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with the cast. We should have Carly back with us at that time. I think that's it, man.
Yeah, I've got really nothing. We'll talk about the Eternals next time. We'll have another what if,
I promise
what if episodes.
Yeah, and I
to talk
promise
about.
to have watched the new trailer for the Eternals by that time.
And then
And
anything
I'm going
that
to I'm going to be trying to go see Free Guy this week.
Free.
So the
Which
new
one is-
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
the new
Ryan. Okay, I
Reynolds
was about to say,
villain.
is that the Ryan Reynolds one or?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going to be trying. We may we're going to go see it hopefully before the next 2 weeks. So hopefully by the next episode, hopefully, I'll have a review of Free Guy. So you guys, we will see y'all back here in 2 weeks. I'll be back on Monday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time. I have updated my schedule, so you can find that in my Discord. We'll talk to you guys later. We love y'all. Y'all stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.